YouTubers, and welcome to another Hot Toys review. Today I'm looking at the DX08 Movie Master Series Hot Toys Jack Nicholson Joker from the 1989 Batman movie, the first Batman movie. It's been a bit of a long time coming, this review. The figure actually arrived the week after I did my Michael Keaton review months and months and months ago, but I've been doing so many other different things and I'm doing the review a bit late, so if you are still interested in this figure, I'll talk you through it. So it's numbered as DX08, even though Keaton was DX09, but it did come out later for some reason, not sure why. Much like the Michael Keaton Batman, lots of different accessories, interchangeable hands and whatnot, and I will talk about all those in a sec. The box is very much in the same vein as the Michael Keaton one. It's got pictures of the figure on the front that were the spec pics that were released when the figure went up for pre-order. Much like with the Michael Keaton, it's that same metallic sheen to the box, to the point where, again, you can't really see all the pictures of the Joker. There's one there, and then there's a very faded one here, which I only noticed the other day. It was that faded. But again, really nice touch. And much like the Keaton one that came before, you know, same on the sides, Joker, thing on the back telling you don't swallow the parts. No advertisement for the Batmobile, like on the other one. Again, it's magnetized here. So if we just open it up, interior is purple, makes sense, it is the Joker. A bit of blurb again, which says, calling himself the Joker, Jack Napier is not dead, but horribly disfigured with bleached white skin, emerald green hair, and a permanent ruby grin. In addition to being a mad and mutable physical combatant, he is brilliant and brutal criminal mastermind. He succeeds Grissom's empire and commits in a violent, chaotic crime spree in Gotham City. With his unpredictable and incalculable methods, he could easily evade capture. While Batman prefers to stay in the shadows, the Joker, on the contrary, basks in the spotlight, often broadcasting himself to the public. Batman is his only worthy opponent, and they are truly destined to fight forever. Again, we've got a little quote. This time it is actually from the film Tell Me Something, My Friend. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight, which was his little catchphrase. He has another one of these things, kind of like what the Keaton one came with, which is you shine a light through it, and it's meant to project. It's meant to project the image on the wall or whatever. It worked well with Keaton because it was the bat signal, so it made sense. Not really sure why they decided to go with the Joker's face. This is, of course, the logo that the Joker's gang wear on their jackets, that badge that they wear. And as ever, the front comes off. You see the interior of the box. Joker head sculpt, features. It says about the purrs, translucent iris, authentic likeness of Jack Nicholson as the Joker, detailed paint applications, and then it tells you all about the sculptors, painters, and whatnot. Take the interior out. You can see the inner tray, which contained all the accessories down here, and the coat was up here, the extra trench coat, and you've got the manual inside there telling you how to use the figure. This is how the figure comes packaged. He doesn't have the hat on, but this is the outfit that he is wearing when you get him out of the box. It's a fantastic figure. I'll go on to the details on the likeness and whatnot in a sec. The articulation is sort of standard, you know, for a true type body. The head can do a 360, you know, it's ball jointed, it can match human movement pretty well. he has articulation in his shoulders. They're ball jointed. Biceps, elbows, wrist articulation that can go up and down and do 360s. He's got ab crunch articulation as well. Articulation at the waist, the hips, the thighs, at the knees. No, not at the thighs actually, just at the hips, but it's ball jointed. And he doesn't have any sort of shin articulation, but he has articulation at the ankles. So it's basically everything that you had on the Keaton figure, but you don't get any, it doesn't get hindered by the rubber suit, because obviously this is all fabric tailoring, so it's, you know, it's fine, works really well. So if I just start by talking you through the head sculpt, which is fantastic. There we are. Clearly Jack Nicholson. If I just remove the hat so you can get a better look at the paint applications and everything. Clearly Jack Nicholson. It is an amazing sculpt, I've got to say. I remember seeing the prototype pictures and being really impressed, and you know, having it in hand is so much better because it doesn't really do it justice on camera. I'll try and get as good a look at it as I can. As you can see, really good paint applications. In places it does look like you can almost see the flesh under the makeup, which is a really nice touch. Sort of around the scalp, it seems to fade slightly, which is really cool. You can see all the really nice detailing of the lines around his eyes and around his cheeks. And, you know, the pores of the figure, you know, you really get a sense that this is skin covered in makeup, the way it's been painted and sculpted. The eyes are really cool. I'll show you the pores in a sec. And the mouth's really well done. The teeth have got a nice gloss to them. And the paint is really, really crisp and really well done. So the sculpt is just fantastic. The hair is good. It's not quite like it is in the film because it is flattened down so that the hat can fit on top. It doesn't bother me, to be honest. I can see the issue. It should be sort of, you know, out more, probably where it ends here by the ears, where these points are. But of course, for the hat to fit, they needed to flat it down. But to be honest, I'm generally displaying with his hat on anyway, but I think he looks fine without it on. The connection for where the purse joins, you can just sort of see it around the edge. It's not as noticeable as it is on Batman, but you know, I think they did a pretty good job covering that up. And I'll just pull the back off just to show you the purse mechanism at the back. And again, that's held on with magnets. If I just flip him round, just show you a quick little go with the purse. Up, down, side to side, you know, it's really good. It really brings the figure alive, especially like when you have him tipping his head down and the eyes lifting. He really does look very dynamic and very evil looking. So the purse system, you know, really does bring a lot to this figure. In terms of the costume, just start off by looking at his fedora. The brim's probably not as wide as it should be, but I don't think it looks too bad. I know some people really did complain about it and think it wasn't good enough, but I think it looks fine. It is moulded in some sort of very thin plastic and then flocked to give it that sort of felt effect, which works really well. Unfortunately, mine had a bit of a problem with the hat band. It was a bit creased inside the box, as you can see. It's a bit dodgy around here and around there, and a bit around the front, but I've managed to sort of straighten that out a bit. And that was just how it was packaged, unfortunately, but you know, it still looks good on display. Let's put it on his head. And I think it sits very well on the figure. I think it looks fine. The rest of the clothes, his initial tailcoat is really good, really nicely tailored. The lapels are stitched down, so to avoid any puffiness, I'm guessing. You've got the buttons on the back, buttons on the wrists, on the sleeves. He does have a pocket up here and more buttons down the front, really nice. The tailcoat also has a bit of a wire frame in the tails of the coat, so you can shape it and you know, just do different poses to make it look like it's blowing in the wind or what have you. I generally don't mess around with that and just keep it straight when I display him like this. The shirt and cravat and the waistcoat, again, really nice. I know there was a few production problems on quality control problems on the clothes with some people's. Luckily mine was all right. The shirt is in an orange satin, very nice. All the buttons there, they're just like the little popper buttons. The cravat is already tied in a knot around his shirt. Is not something that I will ever take off. Really nicely done. Again, a sort of a satiny type material with the polka dots printed on, as you can see. And the waistcoat is also really good. Really nicely done here. And as you can see, the buttons, if I can zoom in close enough, have clubs, spades, hearts and diamonds on there, which is really, really nicely done. Very impressive detail, I have to say. The trousers are really good, sort of checkered plaid trousers, or tartan. Some people did complain that that isn't quite accurate. I think it looks fine, to be honest. I can't see any problem with it. I think it looks really, really good. Underneath all of his clothes, he has a fat suit, which is sort of like a white fabric. This is because obviously Jack Nicholson is bigger than the average true type figure, so it's just to puff him out a bit, which I think works really well. The initial figures didn't have it when it was on display at Comic-Con last year, and it did look a bit thin, especially when you look at it now in hindsight. And this is really good, this suit, because it does match the actual costume that Nicholson wore, because he did have these white sleeves underneath his clothes just to cover up his flesh, hands. I guess it was easier than making him up completely all over his hands. And when you plug these in, I'll just give you a quick example. If I just take out his hand, you take the peg out first, plug it in. I'll just show you how this works. Let's take out the peg, and you pull back the white cotton sleeve, like so. Plug the peg into the gap, and then you cover it over, like that. And that works really well. And then you just plug the hand over the top, and then that covers up any joints and things, which is really, really good. Seeing as I've got the hand off, I'll just show you the other item of clothing that the figure comes with, which is his trench coat, which he wears at the end of the film. I'll just put that on for you. Just while I've got his coat off, just show you some close-ups on the costume a bit more without it. So you can see he's got pockets in his waistcoat. I'm sure they work as well. Yeah, they're proper pockets, which is again very impressive. He's got the buckle on the back of the waistcoat, which is really nice. And if I just show you, he has got braces on under his waistcoat to hold up his trousers. I know in America you call them suspenders. Over in the UK we call them braces. Suspenders are very different. So, you know, that's just another quick little look at the detailing of the costume, and it is really fantastic. I've got to say, it's a really, really good bit of tailoring from Hot Toys. So here he is in his trench coat from the end of the film. I've put the flower on his on his coat. It's just attached by a small clip, and it just goes through the small piece of thread on his lapel. He also has a handkerchief hanging out of his coat, which isn't removable, it's stitched in. All of the pockets actually work, which is really impressive. All these are actually real pockets, which is really cool. And the lapel at the top, I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but this upper part of the lapel is actually made in a sort of a suede fabric, which really matches the look of his coat in the film. Unfortunately, with my trench coat, I don't know if this is a common thing or not, but the button here wouldn't stretch very well across, so I basically couldn't do his coat up like I wanted to, like he has it at the end of the film. I did manage to do it twice. Sadly, after I undid it the second time, the peg that the button was attached to actually snapped off inside the hole here. I did manage to get it out, but obviously the coat will never be able to be done up again, so I might try and track down another coat off eBay that I keep for when I want to have him displayed with it done up. Not sure, but we'll have to see. One thing I haven't mentioned were the shoes. He hasn't got feet, they literally are just shoes attached to the end of the leg. He does have like a sock, white sock here, which just goes through like that, through the peg. And those are really nicely detailed, not much weathering, but they look like the shoes in the film, and the laces have been painted on nicely as well. So yeah, all in all, I think the figure is really, really good. Fantastic tailoring on both of the coats. My only real gripe was, like I said, with the button that it snapped off. I don't think it was positioned well enough, or there wasn't really enough fabric to the coat. Could have been a bit bigger perhaps, only by a little bit. But other than that, I think it's really good. All of the costume details are fantastic. The face sculpt is really, really amazing, and I really do like the hat as well. I think it looks really good. So I'll just very quickly talk you through some of the other bits and pieces the figure comes with. If I just put the Joker back on his stand. He has a variety of different hands. He has the two sort of open hands that I've got imposed with. These were the hands that were actually attached to the figure when I got it. He's got open hands, sort of like jazz hands. He has a slightly closed hand for holding some of his accessories, and the same with this one. Again, is slightly clenched again, left and right. And then he has two extra right hands. One is sort of like a pointing finger, and the other one is, again, a slightly closed or open hand. I think it's not really very clear how these hands work. I think one of them is meant for the gun, but I always tend to use this one because I feel that it fits the hand better. So that's really good. It would have been nice if he'd have had some sort of, some of his human hands, just white with the green fingernail paint on it, but I guess they'll probably save that for another release. He comes with two big wads of $100 bills. I've still kept them wrapped around in the cellophane just so they don't get lost, but at times I do slide a few out and scatter them around in the display cabinet. He comes with his Joker card, which is very teeny tiny. Really nice, really well detailed. And on the back there, it's really, really good. Really like it. My only issue with it is the fact that there is no bullet hole in it, but I guess that was something that would be difficult to do at such a small scale. I don't know, probably could put a pin through it or something, it would probably work quite well. He has here the device, it's like the detonator device that he uses to activate the Smilex gas in the balloons at the end of the film. That's really nicely detailed here. You can see he's got like the holes at the back, all the screws have been detailed in, and sculpted in rather, and the antenna is really nice. He has his... Oh, just dropped it. He has it... Oh, I've dropped it again. He has his walkie-talkie. Again, the detail's really, really good. Nice sort of wash on the grating and like on the buttons, on the side, on the screw. Some holes on the back there. Even has the little sort of, I guess it's like the battery compartment or whatever, sculpted into the back as well. And the aerial on that's very good. So that's when he calls at the bottom of the cathedral steps for the helicopter to pick him up. He also comes with a pair of chattering teeth. These are spring-loaded, so you can pose Joker holding them closed or open. They don't wind up, but the winder has been sculpted on, and that's really cool, really nice. They probably should be covered in blood, really, from the end of the film, but it's nice to have them clean, because it just makes it easier for display. He has his gas mask, and that's really good. I mean, if I just show you, it just fits over like so. It might actually be a bit too big, you know, but because it just look quite large, but I'm not sure. He comes with his megaphone that he uses before the Batwing sequence, just after the Batman has blown up Access Chemicals. It's not as detailed as the other items, but I guess there's not really much you could do with it. You can see it's got sort of the trigger sculpted on, and the speaker and a button on, and 2 buttons on the back. But as you know, it's a nice little addition. He comes with his revolver, which has the bang flag, and that's just been printed onto the fabric, only one-sided. The flag is removable. It just slips out like so. So that means you can just have him posed with a generic revolver. The little hook at the bottom here is actually articulated, that actually moves around, which is really, really good detailing. You can actually cock the gun. You can pull that back to make it look like the gun has been cocked, which is very impressive. And what also is very cool is you can even pull the barrel out like this and see all the bullets on the inside, all of which have been really nicely sculpted and painted. You know, I'm not sure if the barrel... Yeah, the barrel even rotates on his own. So again, really impressive stuff there. He also has his larger gun, which he uses to fire at the back wing. It's slightly different from the revolver. It has no thing on the end, no hook. It's in a really glossy black paint. Same, you know, little features as the other one. You can cock the gun, you can push the barrel out and everything, so it's, you know, it's very similar, but different, and that's really cool. It's good to, you know, like to have it. I often will put it like down his trouser leg to make it look like he's pulling it out like he does at the end of the film and whatnot. And lastly, he comes with his cane, or I think sometimes this is referred to as his magic wand. And that's really good. That's, you know, you see that in a lot of the, is it Herb Ritts photo shoots, I think. And you know, he uses it in the museum scene. And that's really good. It's just sort of gold on the end, and then the tip sort of just thins out there. And finally, the only other thing to talk about is the display stand. Very much in the same vein as the other one that came with Michael Keaton. You've got the inverted bat logo, yellow on black rather than black on yellow. You've got the plaque, Joker, Movie Master Series Deluxe figure. You've got the lights, and if I just switch the lights on, there we go. Looking very nice, very menacing. It looks really good in the dark. So here are the two figures together. As you can see, I think they look great together. Really fantastic figures, which, you know, you do expect them to be fantastic when you're paying like £200 per figure. I paid something like 170, I think, I paid about 170 for Michael Keaton, and I paid about 180 for Jack Nicholson. which is actually quite cheap compared to what some places were selling them for. I know Forbidden Planet was selling Jack for £200 and he was going for about 180. And now, I mean, they got some, I think Forbidden Planet International had an extra Michael Keaton hiding in their warehouse, and they put it online the other day, and it was like 250 quid for Michael Keaton. So these figures do go for quite a lot on the secondary market. Now, if you go on eBay, some of the prices are astronomical. I mean, I've seen Jack go for £300, or that's the asking price, £300 for Jack Nicholson. So, you know, compared to what I paid, it's, you know, it's quite mad. So, yeah, like I said, really fantastic figures. It's wonderful to have such highly detailed collectibles of Jack and Michael Keaton. Like I said in my previous review, Batman was the first sort of Batman film it was the first Batman film that I saw, and it had a real big impact on me, along with the animated series. And so when I knew that they were making these wonderful figures, I knew I had to have them in my collection. So really, really good. I mean, I doubt if I will ever be able to get any more Hot Toys figures, because the prices of them now are getting even higher due to the current economy. You know, I'd love to see Jack with his sort of make-upped face, with the flesh makeup, all dripping from the museum scene. I know that the Batman Returns figures are meant to be coming out next year, you know, which will probably be just as good. I love the Michael Keaton suit in Batman Returns. I think is really cool, and I'd love to get the, you know, just a plain Michael Keaton head sculpt, and I'm sure Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer will be really good as well. But, you know, I'm sure I won't be able to afford to get those, and I know my girlfriend would be very angry if I did. And I've got my eye on the Big Chief Tom Baker figure from Doctor Who as well, which is coming out next year. So I've got to see what will happen there. But yes, all in all, I think these figures are fantastic. Jack Nicholson is brilliant. The likeness is fantastic. Keaton, like, if you've seen my Keaton review, you know that I thought Michael Keaton was amazing as well. You know, is it worth £180 each? Practically, I don't know. I know a lot of people would say no, they're not. But regardless of the price, they are extremely good figures. The detail is amazing. The tailoring is very, very good. And, you know, if you can get them cheap and you're a big fan of this Batman movie, you're a fan of these interpretations of the characters, you know, Jack Nicholson isn't my favourite Joker, but his look is definitely my favourite cinematic version of the Joker. So, yeah, if you can get your hands on these and you're a big fan of Batman, then, you know, definitely track them down, especially Joker. Joker's really good. But then again, I do love Batman as well, so it is very, very hard. But no, definitely track these down if you can. And thanks for watching this review, and I shall see you all again.